Okay, here is your instructional video for the reading MCA test that we are asked to share with you and talk about in English class. So we're doing it right here. Okay, this is a live link. I will post this in our class under testing, MCA testing. But this is a live link that takes you to a couple of things you should check out. There are tutorials there. If you're an avid, you're familiar with that. But what they are is, I'm going to show you some pieces of them. It shows you some of the tools that are online that you can use while you take the test. And there also are item samplers to give you an idea of the kinds of questions and the kind of answers that will be on the real test that you will take, okay? So the reading test, as is the math, and it's called an adaptive test, which means that the test adjusts to your responses, okay? So what that means is at a passage level, like you're reading a passage and you respond to it, the next passage you get is based on how you did on the passage that you just finished, if that makes any sense. In general, these are not in stone, but at 10th grade, there are typically somewhere from 4 to 8 different passages for a total of around 51 items. And there's 2 different kinds of text on there. The number and percent is listed there, so about 30 to 40% of the items are from literature, which could be short stories, poetry, drama, more fictionalized kinds of things. And then a bulk of it, though, is 60 to 70% is what they call informational text. That could be opinion articles from a newspaper. It could be articles from a science magazine. It could be essays that someone wrote. It's all kind of the nonfiction genre. Okay, so that kind of is the makeup of what you'll be getting. These are some of the tools that you would see on your screen in this adaptive test, okay? There's arrows in the upper corner that you should be familiar with, and you have to give an answer to move on to the next one. You can bookmark a question to review it, so they show you that across the top. And if you click review and you've bookmarked 5 of them, it will show you what those 5 are that you have to go back to and finish if you haven't completed them. You can take notes. There's a little notepad. You can cross things off with an eliminator tool, so that's kind of a cool feature. Let me move myself out of your way here. In this corner as well, you can change the background and the foreground, like there's kind of a couple of layers. You can change the color of that if you want to. There's a magnifier there if you need to magnify something and you can't see it very well. You can show yourself at a certain line. They will kind of mask out part of it and show you just pieces of it. So there's a drop-down menu there with some other features to kind of help you access the text if you need some things that are not in typical text that you would just see. You've got some things that can help you if you want to use those, okay? So kind of keep that in mind. There also is a highlighter tool right below that main banner across the top, so you can highlight a word. You can choose your color, and then there's a box with a red line to get rid of a highlighter. So if there's something you want to highlight while you're doing it and then get rid of it, that's another feature that you have. So those are features within the test taking itself that you can use and see if that helps you at all. You don't have to use those, but you can if you want to. Please make sure your Chromebook is charged. There will be some extras available, but you just kind of want to start it and take it, and you may be more comfortable with your own Chromebook. So please make sure it is charged when you come in the morning, okay? Some things about this. This should not be a surprise to you, but cell phones, other devices like Apple Watches, wearable technology, all of that electronic kinds of things are not accessible during the test, even during any breaks. Even if you finish early in your room and other people are still testing, you cannot take that stuff out, okay? If you do, there's a little warning here at the bottom, okay? If you have a cell phone or device out at any point, and we have to tell you this, and we'll tell you during the test as well, your test has been compromised and it needs to be invalidated, even if you didn't use it. So even if you just picked it up, like that's why we'll ask you to put it away so you're not even tempted to pick it up and then put time into the test and have it invalidated because of a silly error with your phone. So we'll try to help you do that. But here's how we do that. Turn them off, put them in an envelope, and put them away, like under your desk. Put them in your backpack so you can't reach for them during the test. And it's going to be a requirement in the rooms. So if you do get a notification during it, and it is going off or whatever, you'll have to give that to the person who's testing you in your room. Okay, so just have it off so you don't have to mess with any of that. So what that also means then, oh, there's nowhere to put my little head here. This means that after you're done, you still can't be on your Chromebook or your cell phone. So you can sit quietly like this black bear. You can read like this dog with glasses on here. So bring your book with you. That's awesome to have time to read during the day in the morning. Or some of you may choose to just rest your eyes like this little kitty cat and take a nap. So you have options. You just can't be doing any other non-written kind of work electronically. You can't have any of that kind of stuff out. And you can't have your Chromebooks out. So I guess paper, a pencil, coloring. Some people have little coloring sheets in their room for you to use, whatever. Or I would tell you to have your book. Have your book with you and keep reading. That would make the most sense for me. These are, again, a reminder, Wednesday, 7:20 from until 10, roughly 10 o'clock is when you will be trapped in these rooms taking these tests. So get here right away, and the room can get started when everybody is there and ready. It is probably your advisory that you will be going to. If that has not been communicated to you yet, you will get an email. There'll be people in the hallways to tell you. There'll be signs posted. But I know I have an 11th grade advisory and I'm doing math because they take the 11th grade test in math, which is why I don't get to get you guys for reading, which would make more sense to me. But so that's what many of you may have as your 10th grade advisory. So just a couple of reminders why it's important to do your best. One, because you're smart people. So this is not a hard thing for you to do. It's going to tell a story about your achievement and your learning. Chance to show what you know in 10th grade in reading. And there's been information about colleges will accept your MCA results. And if it is at a certain level, you will not have to take any kind of remedial classes. And if it's at a different level, they may ask you if you either need to retest at their college to see, because they don't want you to get there and not be able to read and fail. And then they will charge you for taking remedial classes. So kind of keep that in mind as well. And I think this might be the last slide. During the test, remember, you are also learning. Look over, read your questions twice. We've talked about that with reading, right? Being a good reader. Try to pick your best answer. Do your best, relax, practice positive self-talk, and don't give up and stay focused. Try to. It's not a timed test. That should be plenty of time for you to finish. But if for some reason you don't finish, the counselor will be in touch with you to do that. Okay? So that, I think, is all I have for you. Get your rest the night before. Try to have a good breakfast. We'll have some treats here in the building when you walk in. And then just have a good mindset. And good luck on it.